What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of HyperOtaku Presents Anime Club here on HyperRPG. Woo. It's great to see all of you guys out there on the internet and to see you guys here at the table. Matt, how's your life? How's it going?
Guys, life has been pretty dang good. I get to do this with you guys. We get to do My Hero Academia stuff. And it's like, you know, I just feel like getting to talk with everyone about this kind of content makes me really happy because I've been looking for this outlet my whole life. You know?
And Michelle, your hair's looking extra pink today. Did you refresh it?
I did it yesterday. I also had a very nice weekend. I got caught up on all of my anime because my back was messed up, so I just laid in bed and watched.
I mean,
so much good stuff. Dude, this week's My Hero was very good.
You're caught up.
I got up.
Good. This season is where it gets like.
I am honestly waiting for this season, with the exception of the first episode of this season, which was very much a filler episode. Right. I'm waiting for this season to have an episode that's just good and not like very good to amazing.
Oh, I see. I was like,
you know what? No. I'm saying is
it's all at a 10.
It's all it is. It's all at like a 10 or like an 11 out of 10. I'm so impressed with this season so far.
It's a really good time to be a nerd.
Yeah,
guys.
it is.
It really is.
It's a great time.
Good shows.
Great time. Guys, before we get into the show, we want to take a moment to thank all of our subscribers on Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon is the reason that we are able to produce any sort of YouTube content here at HyperRPG. So we super duper appreciate your support. If you have not had a chance to do so, go on over to Patreon and check it out. We all have all kinds of different tier rewards, and you know, the more Patreon subscribers we get, the more great content we can produce for our YouTube channel, and we can get more anime stuff.
Say smash that Patreon button, or is that what's the button?
Smash that Patreon.
I don't think
button.
it says that.
I don't know.
It might say like subscribe or like give some money.
there's probably a thing in the description of this video.
Give some money.
Yeah.
Boink,
yes.
boink, boink.
Please send money to HyperRPG and go.
Detroit Patreon smash.
Perfect. Yeah. So go ahead, Detroit Patreon smash that button. And we really appreciate all of you guys. And another reminder, guys, that we are going to be talking about the first Tenchi Muyo OVA today. And if you have not checked it out for whatever reason, it is all available streaming over on Funimation streaming site, Funimation Now. And we have a promo code if you don't have a Funimation Now subscription to get you $5 off your first month subscription. So go to Funimation.com/subscribe and enter promo code HYPERMHA at checkout to get your first month for 99 cents, and that's after a 2-week free trial.
And it's capital sensitive, correct? So capital H.
Capital H, yep.
And capital lowercase, then
and then MHA is all capital, Yes. So do that thing, guys, because there's a lot of real good anime on Funimation streaming, which one of them we're going to be talking about today, which I'm very excited to do. However, let's talk about some newer anime. So, Michelle, you brought to my attention the fact that the most popular anime in Japan right now is essentially being ignored by the West.
Correct. And that is the fault of Amazon Prime. So a while ago, maybe like almost half a year ago, Amazon had Amazon Strike, which just for anime, and you had to subscribe to it.
In addition to having an Amazon Prime subscription, like I don't think you could get Anime Strike without Amazon Prime.
Correct. So it was an additional like $5 a month or something. So no one was getting it. It was failing. They were like, let's just quietly dissolve it and put it on regular Amazon Prime Video without really telling anybody. And honestly, the interface for Amazon Prime Video is annoying as shit because there's no way to look at the newest things that are released.
Yeah,
that is true.
So there are some amazing anime that they got their grubby little hands on that's just sitting around Amazon waiting to be seen by all you guys. So this season, my favorite thing right now is it's called Wotakoi. It's hard for an otaku to fall in love. And it's very good.
I actually feel like I have heard of this series.
Yes, so it's been like in the top 5 best-selling manga since 2016. Like it's been out for a while.
Got it.
The anime just started this season, and it is ranked. Keeps switching like number 1, 2, and 3 for the past couple weeks in top anime in Japan. You guys have to watch it. It's about a office worker who meets another office worker, and she's secretly an otaku, and she's scared of dating. But then she finds this guy who she knows from her past, and they develop a little friend group, and like they start dating, and it's really good.
Obviously it's different, but to me that sounds like little shades of Recovery of an MMO Junkie, which I love so much.
Yeah, it's the same. It gives you that same good gushy feeling. You know that good goosh right here.
Goosh.
Because it's about like knowing yourself and accepting who you are. And they actually get together in the first episode, so that's not the surprise. The surprise is like how they stay together and like because they're adults. It's definitely like for an adult show.
Yeah, I love that.
But it's so good. And everyone has little quirks. Like the one girl is a professional cosplayer, but she hides it. And all
my God,
that's
so cute.
Shit. Yeah.
I am 100% going to check that out. But out with the new, let's say, and in with the old, because in case you guys were afraid that the nostalgia train had left the station, don't worry. It has.
Hey, we're gone.
Galaxy Express 39 is getting a live action adaptation set to air on June 18th at 8 o'clock p.m. Japan time on BS Sky Perfect. The series premiere will be a live broadcast that makes use of CGI to create the world and will be accompanied by a 30-minute talk program hosted by singer-songwriter Akinori Nakagawa, who is playing Tetsuro in the upcoming Ginga Tetsudo 999 Galaxy Opera stage play.
Wait,
so
what?
there's going to be a stage play and also a
so many things just happened.
that was a lot.
Lots of Galaxy Express 39 happening in 2018. Now, Michelle,
yes?
I know that you love some Leiji Matsumoto. Now, this isn't Interstellar, which I know is your favorite, but is this something you'd watch, or do you think that it stands to lose some of the appeal without that very distinctive Matsumoto artwork?
I think. I mean, I'm gonna watch the shit of it. It doesn't matter.
Of course,
I'll find it on the dark web because they're not gonna live stream this to America. They're not.
Listen, girl, I searched the dark web for all of those live broadcasts of the Death Note musical, so I'm right there with you.
So I'm getting this feeling that it's gonna be like the live broadcast means that they're showing it live as they're acting it out, which means like no editing. Get all the little mistakes in. I don't know.
So to me, this seems like it's kind of a Hairspray live or a Jesus Christ Superstar live.
Remember, there's a Peter Pan one too.
I thought Grease was good. Grease Live was good.
And then they're combining
Jesus Christ Superstar was really good actually.
But I haven't seen any of them. But so it sounds like it's going to be a little hokey because I think without the kind of the glimmer and
I think so
of
too.
CG, it's going to be. They are using CG.
Apparently, they are using CG,
but it's going to be
like, how good is that going to be? Like,
so they're on a green screen, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
I feel like when Emma, you kept explaining it, I was like, oh, cool. Oh, what? No, stop.
And then
I don't know. Like, I think like it would have been way cooler to see this adapted into like a film,
an actual an actual drama.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
It is dramatic AF. I mean, it could have been its own Lost in Space.
It
could have been. It absolutely could have been.
And then they're also like the fact that they're smashing it together with another like 30-minute like after talk show.
Well, to me, basically, what this live broadcast kind of reeks of in a way is promotion for the actual stage play.
That's about to happen. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Show that when it's done.
Yeah. But the stage play to me, I guess, is an opera. Maybe I don't know. I've seen some of the images.
I mean, I want to see the opera. That sounds awesome.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean,
holy shit.
I think that's my biggest takeaway from this is I'm now more interested in the stage play than I necessarily am in this.
The stills did not look great,
but freaking sweet. That's gonna be pretty sweet.
The musical?
I think the musical's gonna be way better.
Is it a musical or is it an opera?
It says opera.
It's a little combining.
It's probably an operetta.
Yeah. Good. I would like to see.
Let's get a little musical here, guys.
I gotta say, in Japan, because they take everything and make it into a stage play, it's always like a kind of okay musical. Sometimes not great, sometimes okay.
Except like the new Sailor Moon are amazing, which are the Sailor Moon musicals.
But it took them so many years to get to that point of
that's so true.
Like a watchable,
where they were even watchable. Gone are the days of Usagi wearing 8 hoop skirts and that being a dress.
And all the screaming. But anyway, it'd be cool if they would transition to just like operettas. I'd be down.
Yeah.
I'd be real down.
Yeah. No, I actually think that this is going to work extremely well as an opera / operetta. So I want to see that. And I mean, the live broadcast, the woman who's playing Maytel in it she was one of the girls in Battle Royale. She's the track runner girl in Battle Royale. I can't remember the character's name, but
I haven't seen the movie.
It's fine. Yeah. No one knows the names.
But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I want to see the stage play, and I will honestly probably watch this at some point.
We're gonna tear it apart.
Because I love Galaxy
we'll tear it
Express.
apart.
A whole lot.
All over the place.
If it's good, we're gonna be like eating our words though.
I would rather eat our own words. Yeah. I would rather have it be really good.
Yeah, I would love to be wrong. I would also love to be wrong about this next piece of news that I feel pretty lukewarm about. So You guys, Dragon Ball Super may have just ended a few months ago, but it looks like Toei Animation is already gearing up to launch another Dragon Ball project. Not surprising, considering the company now has an entire department dedicated to expanding the franchise. The news comes from vetted Shonen Jump source Yonko Productions and reveals that the video game Dragon Ball Heroes is getting an anime, assuming that the source is accurate, and it usually is. Now, Dragon Ball Heroes is very popular in Japan. I don't think we have it in the US at all.
Yeah.
But the series is going to be a short one, though honestly, short by Dragon Ball standards is fairly
50,
generous. Fairly generous. Yeah, it's set to debut in July 1st, actually, at a Dragon Ball event in Ion Lake Town. Matt, considering that we know that this series is basically just PR for a video game, what's your take on the latest installment in the Dragon Ball universe?
Well, I mean, is Toriyama on the project? Because if we saw anything from GT, is that if it is basically a fan-made thing, it's not going to work.
Well, and I guess in Dragon Ball Heroes also, they play around with the timeline of events that happened in Dragon Ball Super, and they go down a little differently in that, and it's
interesting,
not canon. So
like, why are we wasting our time with that? Like, you know, like I feel like Dragon Ball has been going on this up and up. They ended Super, I thought, really nicely.
Yeah, I enjoyed the ending of Super a lot.
They even have a movie coming out that looks like the teaser look. I mean, we don't know anything about, but the animation looks beautiful.
Sure.
And I just feel like this is a step backwards, and it just seems like a repeat of, like, it's like what happened after Z. I'm afraid that's going to happen again with GT. Like, it's just, who wants this?
Yeah.
Who? I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't sound exciting to me.
People who get the money from the thing. I think
right. And I know there's gonna be people who are watching it. I'm curious if, like, I mean, obviously that'll probably get dubbed over here. I didn't, right? Would you?
Maybe. I don't know.
I actually don't know.
I'm curious because, again, it is an adaptation of the video game Dragon Ball Heroes, very much being used to promote that, and that game series is very popular in Japan.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, in a weird way, the same thing with, and obviously now that has been fixed because we do have Detective Pikachu over here, but they announced that there was going to be a Detective Pikachu movie before we ever had Detective Pikachu in the States.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of it is based on the success in the homeland. Like, it seems like the success over in Japan, which is fine.
Totally.
When you said that.
It's fine. It's fine. But I just think that, like, in terms of the storyline and stuff like that, things that come out from something like Dragon Ball Heroes, like there's One Piece stuff that's like that, where it's like, oh, it does kind of follow the story, but breaks it. It falls apart, and it's just like a hot mess, and like tries to. It feels like a cheesy video game storyline, and that's what this sounds like to me from Dragon Ball.
And I mean, the track record of even video games being adapted to anime series is, I mean, it's way better than video games being adapted to live action movies here in the States. Those are all basically hot garbage.
Yeah.
But even then, they're not always great. They have great fighting sequences in them usually, but and the stories feel a little weak a lot of the time.
And to me, I would rather get another GT than like a weird adaptation of something we've already seen.
Yeah, I guess my only sort of positive takeaway from it is that in Dragon Ball Super, we did get a lot of really cool new original characters.
Yes.
So it is possible that we might get some interesting characters out of this, and then maybe somewhere down the line they'll be readapted into something that's actually canon, much like with the Star Wars expanded universe.
I mean, honestly, I would totally be down for, instead of this, to like follow like, you know, the universe 6 characters.
I would love that.
Follow, like,
yes, I would so much rather that. Give me a Universe 2 story with all the magical girls. I am in.
Like, I would much rather have like how cool would it be to have a 25 episode series of that universe where it's like love universe forever, like sparkle, you know, like
no, I totally
I just feel
agree.
like that just makes more sense to me. But
oh well,
we'll see.
Well,
I'm sure we'll go work out after we watch it. So.
I'm sure we will, and there will be all kinds of weird aliens with tails and other weird mutations that indicate that they are aliens and not people, which brings us into our main topic this week, because there's a lot of alien
What
waves
a great
in it.
segue, Emma, by the way.
Thank you very much. And that is Tenchi Muyo.
Tenchi!
Okay.
Oh, wow, Tenchi.
Also known as no need for Tenchi. Muyo means like without or without need of.
Right.
Yeah.
And that basically sums up the entire series. You don't really need Tenchi
You
to
know,
have this series.
he's just a vessel for which the girls to gather around
Yeah.
and move their plot forward.
He's just such a
very
good
true.
boy.
Yeah. I have such an interesting relationship with this series, and rewatching it as an adult
Yeah.
provided me with all kinds of crazy new insight to it. So I want to start by talking about your introductions to Tenchi. How did you first discover Tenchi?
This is
Matt Acevedo.
Looking at it now, this makes so much sense. I was introduced to it. I was little. I think I was still, because it was on Toonami, but I remember my sister would rent it from like Blockbuster or something, and she was the one who introduced me to it. And I was like, oh, cool, this is cool. You know, I was missing so much stuff, and I remember Tenchi
and I'm
being
sure
like,
if you were watching it on Toonami,
It was edited
you were
version.
watching an edited version.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and like Tenchi to me, I thought was so cool. You know, I thought it was so cool.
The guy himself.
I don't know. I thought he was so cool. And then like, you know, I remember like just my sister loving it, but she also did not like Tenchi. I'm like, why don't you like Tenchi? He's so cool. Going to it now and watching it, Tenchi's like has no personality. He's just a good boy, and like I mean, which makes sense. But like I was like I remember I tweeted out. I was like, I don't remember Tenchi being like this bland. You know? Oh my god. But I just. And all the things that I missed too, which it all comes back to my sister, who I found out was bisexual, and she's married now with my other sister and stuff like that. But like I didn't know that at the time, but she told me when I texted her like, I don't remember Tenchi being this bland. She said, yeah, that's why I read all the fan fiction with all the girls.
The Yuri fan fiction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
all the fanfics.
I'm like, this makes so much sense.
Yes. What about you, Michelle?
So this was the first purchase I made as a blind purchase at Suncoast when I was a wee bae. I remember it had the white plastic cover for the VHS, not like the smooth black ones. I think I bought the first 3 VHS, which was probably, I don't know, 3 episodes, maybe 4.
Yeah.
You
Who
guys,
goddamn knows?
It was the dark ages. We only got like 2 episodes per tape, and it was
and
if that, as you say, it may literally have just been 3 episodes.
I don't know why I bought it. I can't remember because there's no online reviews back then. No one recommended it to me because I was going to talk to a Suncoast employee about anime. That's not happening.
No.
So I think I just looked at the box art and I was like, alien girls. Oh, and it's like kind of Japanesey. And then I just got it. And I was really, really, really obsessed with it. Rewatching it was such a, again, like, you know, barricade of old emotions coming out. I think rewatching it as an adult, like, I can definitely see, I'm like, oh, these are all the tropes that are tropes. Oh my god, Tenchi was like the original harem anime.
It was.
Yes.
Upon doing some research about that, because I was like, is it though? It kind of was, because the creators of Bubblegum Crisis, the writers for it, wanted to do a similar story where they made one of the male characters kind of the protagonist, and the girls fought over him for a funny episode because the series was so dark.
Right.
And they got rejected, so they were like, we'll just start a new thing. We'll start with a guy. It could be like literally anyone, so here we go. And we'll make the girls like, you know, we'll pick the 2 main characters, and then we'll just go from there and fill in the holes of a different types of girls and to create the harem. And I mean, it shows when you watch it as an adult, you really get like, okay, this is the, I guess, the cookie cutter that everyone's been using since then, because it's a good formula.
It is. It is. It's a really good formula. And I think probably because, as you say, Michelle, it was the first of its kind in a way, was part of the reason why when I first saw Tenchi, so the first Tenchi thing I ever saw was the first Tenchi in Love movie. The one which is basically Tenchi Muyo does Back to the Future. If you guys have not seen that movie, it is legitimately really good.
It's good. It's all online too. It's at Funimation and Crunchyroll.
All the movies are on Funimation.
Yeah,
which is
they're all
movies
great.
are all
They're all
on Crunchyroll too. Yeah,
But
they're
watch
not,
the first
they're
one.
not all good, but the first one's amazing. And so in that movie, I felt like I was introduced to this world, and I don't want to spoil the movie in case you guys haven't seen it, because I highly recommend watching it, but something happens in the end where I went, man, this is a movie that's about like awesome ladies. And a franchise that's about awesome women. And so then, of course, when it did start airing on Toonami, I was so excited to watch this show, and I didn't recognize watching it in the first place that it was a harem anime. I just thought, oh, there's all these really cool girls, and I don't know why they like this Tenchi guy. He's super whatever.
I just thought it was like funny as a kid. I was like, I don't know. Like I was like, I don't know what this is about, but it's funny.
And there's the boy, and there's like one guy, so I guess I like the guy character. You know, you kind of do.
Yeah.
Like he's the main character, so and his name is in the title, so you must like him, right? Like,
right. Exactly. Yeah. They like trick you into liking Tenchi, but there's nothing to not like about Tenchi either.
They make him bland. It's a stereotypical figure where it's self-insertion, so he could be anybody. He could be you. It could be you with all those girls. All you have to do is just be
a good boy,
vanilla.
Be a good boy.
Good boy. Yeah, exactly. But you're right. All the interpersonal relationships that the girls have, even though Ryoko and Ayaka are always fighting, they do have like moments of coming together. And and then because they cover every kind of girl. This is, every kind of personality.
Like it's broad strokes.
Yeah,
it's definitely archetypes.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's nice to see all that. You have the super genius. You have the really ditzy blonde.
Yes,
and she is one.
Yeah.
You have like
Mihoshi.
And
by the way, Mihoshi. This is the best series for Mihoshi. Is the first OVA because they make her so dumb in all the other adaptations, and in this version, she's kind of oblivious and a ditz, but she's still capable.
Yeah, she still gets shit done.
She
has that anime look that just things work out in that person's favor.
Yeah, she's very charming. I think in this series,
and she's a D&D character, high charisma and luck.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep,
for sure.
But
the thing I love about this series is if you look at especially the first episode, the animation style and quality is that shit you get from those 90s anime.
You do. It looks so good. It really holds up.
Yeah.
I was just marveling at some of the pre-painted backgrounds. So good.
It's really good. The animation, unfortunately, for the characters themselves drops off as the series goes on. I would say this first chunk that we're getting, episodes 1 through 7, 6-ish, that's like I think that was like the main crew that before it got upgraded to somebody else, because it's very good. It's the best in episode 1 and 2. After that, you can really tell because all their eyes get a little shorter.
Yeah.
Their faces get a little smaller. Like everything gets a little.
Yeah, I remember there was a scene in the first episode of the Ryoki where Ayaka hurts her ankle and Tenchi is carrying her on his back, and like their faces were just a little askew.
They spent a lot more time on the pilot, but I just because the art was so striking because I looked at the screen cap they had on Crunchy for this is the first episode, and I was like, I remember exactly that face. It's Ryoko just looking like when she comes out of the rock the first time.
Yes.
The first episode is so good because it's
so
really good.
not really indicative of how the rest of the series is going to be.
No, it's not at all. I mean,
I love it.
The first episode is great. I mean, from watching just the first episode, you might think this was going to be horror or some sort of hardcore sci-fi, and it is sci-fi for sure, but it's more comedy, and they spend most of their time trapped on the Earth, particularly in later Tenchi series. But
and they create, and they're building tropes for the future to use.
They are. They totally
got
are.
all the girls together. They got the archetypes of the girls. They got the scenarios. God, the night before the carnival episode when they did all the.
That's such a funny episode.
So funny. Yeah. So basically, the first storyline is in episodes 1 through 6, and then night before the carnival, it's kind of a fluffy filler.
It's like a special.
It's kind of like Freddy foreshadowing some stuff. But,
yes.
But otherwise, just like, let's have a little side adventure.
Let's compete over Tenchi.
Yeah. But I did enjoy that Ryoko and I decided to team up in that episode to get rid of the competition, and they trick Mihoshi into leaving. It's so funny.
Yeah, it was a great episode. But anyway, back to 1 through 6.
Yes.
Do you guys have like a favorite episode? Or moments, maybe?
I mean,
I think
I love the scene in Hello Ryoki, the third episode, where Ryoko convinces everybody that what's in the egg is her and Tenchi's baby.
Yes, that's so funny.
Stupid and unnecessary. I love it.
It is. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously, the final episode, We Need Tenchi, where we first meet Washu, and you see the extent of like Ryoko's power. It's really great.
I like Washu a lot.
I think love Washu.
So great.
Is it because we're all getting old and now she's our favorite? Was she your favorite before?
As a kid, I remember her being my favorite, and I think it's because I thought she was the funniest. And she like just did weird, quirky things, So I think she was my favorite.
She has a lot of secrets.
Yeah,
we'll get to that later.
Yeah, she does have a lot of secrets. I think though my favorite, I love seeing Ryoko kind of like just lose her shit on Kagato's like spaceship, and like the fight scene between them is like so cool because she's a powerful freaking person.
Yes,
and it's so cool when she gets to go all out. She's like my favorite like fighter in the whole show. She's so damn cool. I think she's one of my favorite, probably my favorite character.
I think if you had like a team Ryoko, team Ayaka, I would be on team Ryoko for sure.
Yeah, but this is the thing is I remember as a kid liking Ayaka less.
Okay.
But actually as an adult, I like her a little more. I think because I when I first discovered this series, I was definitely at a point in my life where it was a very problematic approach to feminism of feeling like women characters were not like strong female characters unless they were actually devoid of any feminine qualities. So I appreciate now as an adult that Ayaka is still a very powerful character. She is the Princess of Jirai. She gets shit done. But she's still very ladylike.
I think when I was younger, I liked Ayaka more.
Interesting.
Because I think because I felt like she was following the rules or something. I don't know. I felt like Ryoko, and the thing is, the way the voice actors go about their oh-ho-hoing, guys, holy shit. This is the oh-ho-ho to end the oh-ho-ho.
Yes, it is.
But I think I just liked Ayaka's oh-ho-ho a little more than Ryoko's, honestly.
That's amazing.
But now that I'm older, it's like Ryoko and Tenchi have a really complex relationship.
They do.
And in a lot of the other series, there is like, they do shit like travel through time together and stuff. And I feel like their relationship is deeper. And I think they kind of, after this season, they push that more. In the first season, they push Ayaka and Tenchi together a little more.
Right, because they have that ancient Jirai connection. I also, this is the thing that's interesting too, is that this is the only version of Tenchi, I believe, where it seems like it's cool for like the Jirai to just Targaryen it and marry their siblings.
I wish I did not pick up on until this. I was like, and my sister was like, wait a second. So Grandpa is essentially shipping his sister with his grandson and like really pushing it.
And he was supposed to marry her.
Yeah. But he was her half brother, I think.
Yes. Yeah, because he was half human.
Right.
Dude, I just like, as a kid, that was like, woo.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't get that. And as I'm older, though, I'm just like, whatever.
I do remember as a kid, again, I really, really liked this series. I didn't necessarily identify it as being harem anime. Once the idea of a harem anime was in my head and I watched this, there were things about it that made me a little uncomfortable because I was so on high alert for anything fan servicey. As an adult, though, because I remember watching I obviously was out there in the world finding uncut versions because that's how I lived my life at 14, 15 years old. But it did make me really uncomfortable when Ryoko would just be like hanging out naked, especially because I loved her so much as a character. It made me a little uncomfortable that you were like displaying this woman's naked body. As an adult, not at all. I'm like, you get it, girl.
I think it's funny that I actually think there was some thought put into it that she's just like, she doesn't really have shame. She's just like, whatever, I'm here, and she's the stronger woman. I think she's more self-confident than maybe her and Ayaka.
For sure.
Oh, totally.
So in those scenes, it's always her who's naked, and Ayaka's like has a little towel. Guys, just so you guys know how hot springs work and onsen work, how they're always in the bath together. You don't wear a towel in the fucking pool.
You don't wear a towel in the bath. You're naked.
But that's an anime trope to show people in the bath without showing, DNA.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I again on this watch now, you're right. I absolutely felt the same way, and it's funny because it sort of transitions away from that. Ayaka like at some point just no towel.
Oh yeah, By the time we get to the special episode Night Before the Carnival, like she's just like chilling in the bath.
I think there's been like 4 bath scenes where they're just chilling. To me, like I think the nudity is like fine. It's like
it
just,
really doesn't bother me now.
Well, the thing that did bother me though is like pervy grandpa stuff, where he's just like just groping like Ryoko's boobs.
That to me was the most blatant form of fan service in this, because other than that, I mean, anytime
besides that,
anytime Ryoko's naked or she's partially naked or pushing her boobs up, she's in control of that. She's owning it.
She's the one,
and Tenchi is the one who's uncomfortable. She even again going back to Night Before the Carnival, she even calls Ayeka out, being like, girl, you're trying to present this, oh, I'm so innocent and I'm a blushing flower, I'm so pure, make love to me.
I do love that scene when like basically Ryoko tries it on Tenchi.
Like, oh my god, when they all read the shoujo manga and try out the techniques from it. Like, it's so good.
I fell. Here, have a
remember my name's Ryoko.
Bye. Yeah. Keep reintroducing themselves. Very good.
One last thing I definitely want to touch on before we wrap this up, as we are running low on time here. But so on Funimation, this is streaming, but only the dub is streaming for the first OVA and first two OVAs. And I watched the dub growing up because I watched it on TV on Cartoon Network. It's so funny because the dub it's not great, but there is something sort of charming about how ridiculous it is. Yeah. And the other thing that really blew my mind about it is their meticulous Japanese pronunciations, because this is the era of Kagato.
Yeah.
And they definitely go Kagato. Like very, very intentionally. Yeah. It's almost like it's a fan dub. You know what I mean?
We gotta figure out who the director was on that and bring them back to life.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Whatever.
Because that I was impressed by that. Some of it's very charactery, over the top voices, but
to be fair, this show, like as much as it's sci-fi, is such a Japanese show.
It's
and I think that
Japanese.
had such an allure to me as a child, because I never heard, guys, I'm Asian, but I'm not, I was born here. I gotta clear that up real quick.
Right.
So like I'd never seen this stuff before. I had no exposure to it. It was just so interesting to me that after I watched it, being like, wait, was this alien shit or was this stuff that's real in Japan? So like I remember figuring that out, as looking up stuff there. And I think a lot of the lore of the show is that it was so it was Japanese, Japanese people in space, basically. Like they're still wearing like kimono and stuff, but it's just like space kimono.
I
really like that.
I do. I really like the design of the dry battle costumes, and I mean, they're blatant ripoff of Star Wars. I mean, down to the fact that they're like laser swords that they fight with literally have lightsaber sound effects. I mean, it's the same thing.
And like the final strike with Kagato is like one slash.
Hilarious.
Just like New Hope,
Yeah. No, it is. It's a really, really great series, and it's been a real joy to revisit it, and there's still more. So next week we are going to be covering the technically the second OVA, or the back half of the earliest Tenchi OVA stuff. It's episodes 8 through 13. I believe 13.5. I think it's another thing where there's sort of a bonusy episode on the end. So
just Mihoshi's episode, I think.
Yes.
Good.
So just basically, if you're watching on the Funimation streaming site, just watch the rest of what is classified under Tenchi Muyo OVA, and you will watch everything that we are going to be talking about next week. Also, guys, don't forget to check out the My Hero Academia Hero Challenge.
That's right.
This week's challenge is to talk about a time when you stood by a friend in need. So share your stories, use that hashtag MHA Hero Challenge for a chance to be featured on that show. And also, as we will be coming to a conclusion on Tenchi in the next couple of weeks here, start thinking about what series you'd like us to cover next. Tweet it at us. Let us know in the comments. However you want to share your ideas. Talk to us about it on the HyperRPG Discord if you guys are over there in the anime channel, and we will start thinking about what the next series is that we are going to cover. Bonus if it's streaming. We really want to focus on stuff that is streaming. Any streaming service is fine. Hey, look in those Amazon Prime archives and see if you find anything cool.
There's shit hidden in there.
And so until then, guys, Matt, anything else to plug?
Not much, so make sure to catch Hyper RPG. We are gearing up for our Warhammer 40k show, so we're doing our journey to 40k with some playtests, painting sessions, and stuff like that. And come check me out at Shy Guy Express everywhere, and let's talk some anime and Nintendo stuff, man. Let's do it.
Michelle?
You can find me ever on the internet at I Am Sherry Bunny. I also do a side project of a podcast called Senpai Buddies. It's a otaku comedy podcast. We don't review anything. We just talk about the news. It's very good.
And also, guys, if you are subscribed to HyperRPG on Twitch, you can go check out our My Hero Academia RPG that we did on Tuesday of last week, probably by the time you guys are watching this. It was a really fun time, and that is available in our videos on demand right now. So just head on over to our Twitch channel, check it out. It may go up on YouTube. Who knows? But it was a very, very good time. And I am Emma Fife, sold on the internet wherever Emma Fifes are, at Emma Fife, which is my name. I like to keep things simple. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. As always, and I forgot to grab a hammer, so I'll just, you know, this session of the HyperOtaku Anime Club is officially dismissed. Woo!
Oh, we should have gotten to woodblocks.
In honor of Tenchi Muyo, largely considered one of the first of the genre, it's time to talk about harem anime. The word harem actually refers to an area of the home that is sacred to women and forbidden to men outside the immediate family. Over the years, however, it has come to be associated with a collection of women who are all, let's say, romantically linked to a single man. Hence, harem anime is characterized by 3 or more characters in amorous pursuit of the same person. In the case of traditional harem anime like Tenchi Muyo or Love Hina, this involves multiple women being in love with the same man. Reverse harem series are the opposite, multiple men being in love with the same woman, famous examples including Hanagori Dango and Fruits Basket. While traditional harem anime is definitely the most prevalent in the subgenre and heterosexual romances are dominant, there are definitely some gray areas when your stories involve cross-dressing heroines like Ouran High School Host Club's Haruhi or Fujoshi like Kiss Him Not Me's Kai. What's a Fujoshi, you ask? Well, our time is up, so we'll have to save that for another Anime Minute.